So what's the end game here? Just this week alone, Coinbase sued, Binance sued, Hinman emails made public, and China is using Ethereum to tokenize securities.
What?
In this episode, we're not going to play checkers. We're going to play chess. Because did you know that the SEC has more than 20 digital asset securities exchanges under its belt, with 15 custodians, 26 issuance platforms, and another 15 service providers? Did you also know that there are 3 assets that have been tucked away in this ecosystem this entire time that I think will benefit the most in the event that the hammer falls in the SEC's favor? Well, you're watching DHN. Let's talk crypto. So let's start with the latest. Hinman emails were made public yesterday, and upon my first reading, nothing really stood out to me that I didn't already know. However, John Deaton's Crypto Law live stream will be airing around 4 p.m. today. I will be in attendance for that. Now, according to Hinman, according to these documents, a digital asset itself is simply code. However, the way it is sold as part of an investment contract to non-users by promoters to develop their idea can be, and in that context, most often is a security. So the issue here is not what it does, but how it does it. What was released in these emails was the draft speech that was given in 2018, I believe, that in essence is the only reason why Ethereum isn't labeled as a security today. This is causing a heap ton of drama within the community. Ripple Counsel Stewart Alder Rhodey decided to push forth an investigation into Hinman, citing the fact that an investigation must be conducted to understand what or who influenced Hinman, why conflicts, or at the very least appearance of conflicts, were ignored, and why the SEC touted the speech knowing that it would create greater confusion in the market. According to Alder Rhodey, the emails provide clear evidence that Hinman ignored multiple warnings that the speech contained made up analysis not based in law. That made me laugh. Now, the biggest takeaway that I have actually comes from this part of the draft where Hinman states, the value of Bitcoin turns on the efforts of decentralized miners and independent market participants' assessment of an open source payment mechanism. First question here, can this be applied to other open source payment mechanisms? I mean, hey, XRP definitely is an open source payment mechanism with market participants who assess the system on a regular basis. He also touched on the efforts of third parties as a key factor in the success of the enterprise. Not sure what he's getting at here. Is he referring to Brad Garlinghouse, the XRP army, BitBoy? I mean, honestly, when you really look at it, the biggest promoters of Ripple and XRP right now would be the SEC themselves. It's all crazy, guys, but at the root of everything with these securities, and I wrote this down because I wanted to be precise when I tell you this, it is a matter of substance, not form, meaning crypto by itself won't be a security, but it's when you start to promote it as something else without focusing on the utility, that's when you begin to draw the line. So, my question to you all is this. Did you invest in XRP because of the amount of money that you could stand to make, or because of the technology that it offers? Think hard on that. It might be, you might have to provide that in court one day. As things stand today, though, the SEC decided that they will give Coinbase a response to that petition they filed last month, sometime in October. The SEC also attempted to force the freezing of Binance US's assets, which would have bankrupted the company. Fortunately, the courts decided against that with conditions. CZ can be nowhere near Binance US, any of its operations, or BAM Asset Management Group, or any of their affiliates. If it is found that this man has any type of connection to Binance US, they will bring the hammer down. They will bring the hammer down. As far as the safety of assets on Binance US, they're saying that everything is okay. If you are holding assets on Binance.us, I would be very careful. I would also just get a hardware wallet. That's how you get around all of this. If your assets are on a hardware wallet, a cold storage wallet, you own the address for that particular blockchain. That's just what it is. Now, here's what else I find interesting in relation to Binance. In the last 24 hours, there has been 400 million in Bitcoin deposited on Binance. Now, even though there is a clear dip stemming from when the SEC announced their charges against Binance, levels of BTC on Binance are still 12% higher than they were a year ago today. So, I'm with you in thinking that all of this is just a bit too chaotic, but at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, this could be the new levy. And if it breaks, well, you might want to get your boats ready. Now, if we spin the globe a little bit, you'll find out that Hong Kong is inviting Coinbase over with open arms. This is likely due to the fact that the Bank of China just this week completed a trial run of tokenized securities on the Ethereum network. I've waited about 3 years to say this, but buy Ethereum, okay? Just buy Ethereum. Remember, Hong Kong is also looking to become the crypto hub for the East. And Hong Kong is located in China. And we already know what coalition China is a part of. So again, I asked the question, what's the end game here? As investors, it's our job to spot new trends in the market before they form. Have you ever heard of a security token? So according to Investopedia, a security token is a digital asset representing ownership or other rights and transfers value from an asset or bundle of assets to a token. Simply, security tokens are the digital form of traditional investments like stocks, bonds, or other securitized assets. So, if the name of the game is to deem certain cryptos as securities and certain exchanges as brokers, wouldn't it make sense to be aware of where all of that money is going to go? This brings us to the three assets that I mentioned in our opening: XRP, XDC, Stellar Lumens. So let's start with Stellar. When it comes to the tokenizations of securities, they have a partner in the form of GK8. GK8 allows financial institutions in the United Kingdom to invest in Stellar in a secure and compliant manner. GK8 also partnered with another Stellar Lumens ally in the form of Securrency. Securrency, also registered in the United States with the SEC, allows for U.S. financial institutions to invest in Stellar Lumens. Then we have Leeway Hertz, which is a Web3 digital asset service provider that also assists Stellar Lumens with tokenization services here in the United States. But here's the biggest find. The Franklin Templeton Investment Fund that we heard about not too long ago. Well, transactions for that fund are recorded on the Stellar blockchain, and according to the SEC filing, at some point in the future, Stellar Lumens will be the sole record-keeping source for that fund. And guess what? Custodial services provided to that fund come from BNY Mellon, who are also registered with the SEC. Now, we brought up Securrency a second ago. Well, they're also partners with XDC. This is something we've touched on before. Simply, Securrency, the same thing that they do for Stellar, they now allow the same thing to happen for XDC and other XDC network assets. Again, the XDC network has clearance in the United States with the SEC thanks to Securrency. And then on top of that, since we did start in the UK, XDC also has Copper, who is regulated by the FCA in the United Kingdom. That's the Financial Conduct Authority. It's the same type of body as the SEC over here. And now for XRP. And this one blew my mind, ladies and gentlemen. A couple years back, Ripple, among others, founded a company called Securitize. Securitize does exactly what the name sounds: security, digitization of security tokens, right? Securitize is registered with the SEC, has former SEC officials on its advisory board, as well as a couple members from the World Economic Forum. That's a whole different video. However, do you also remember the XLS20 upgrade that the XRP ledger went through not too long ago? That XLS20 upgrade allows for the tokenization of securities on the XRP ledger. So my question is, if XRP is deemed a security, would the tokenized version of XRP be accessible through Securitize? And secondly, is all of this whole thing with the SEC centered around the reason that they knew that XRP would be able to tokenize securities, and because of that, they won it. It's a lot to think about, guys. Very deep. I understand. That's why I put this video out on Wednesday, so that way we have something to talk about throughout the week. Now, there is one more thread to pull here. The company is named Fireblocks. Now, Fireblocks is an institutional grade digital asset custodian registered with the SEC and allows institutional access to XRP, XDC, and Stellar Lumens. Could the reason that XLM has not been touched in all of this conversation have to do with the fact of its position in the securities tokens market? And if that's the case, with our three favorite tokens essentially being the gatekeepers to this new market, is there a world where we actually want the SEC to get their way here? And you know something else too? Coinbase Custody, also registered with the SEC. And if you take a look at their website at what's listed, XRP is still up there. So, tell me. At the end of the day, at the end of it all, we are witnessing a power struggle for the future of this market. My opinion is that because tokenization is the concept that will bridge the current financial system to the new version of it, having knowledge of the assets that are already at the forefront of that shift gives us the advantage. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And of course, if you found value, there are 4 things I need you to do for me. Hit that like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss the next episode. And as always, have a great day. Have a prosperous day. And most importantly, if that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'm Wade Teamer, and I'll see you in the next episode.